Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with CyberShift.
That's right.
So today we're going to be talking about really the biggest cybersecurity threat that businesses face.
Absolutely. It's something that we talk about every day with clients, and it's something that every business owner, every leader really needs to be thinking about.
Yeah, I think when a lot of folks think about cybersecurity, they think about somebody in a hoodie in a dark room, like hacking into the mainframe or, writing some super complex malware.
Yeah, that's the Hollywood version.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Hollywood version, right?
Yeah.
But, based on all the research that we've done, looking at industry reports, looking at real world incident analysis, and just our own experience helping companies like yours, the picture is a little bit different.
It is. And, while those sophisticated attacks do happen, the vast majority, really over 80% of successful cyber attacks come down to something much simpler, something that we're all susceptible to human error.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think, when we talk about that with business owners sometimes, it's hard for folks to wrap their heads around. But think about just in your own life, how many emails do you get every single day? How many times are you asked to click on a link or enter a password or share information? It's just a constant barrage, right?
It is, and that's exactly where those vulnerabilities lie. It's in those everyday interactions.
Right. And so all it takes, is one wrong click on a malicious link. Or, a password that's really easy to guess, or, accidentally sending sensitive data to the wrong person. That's all it takes for an attacker to get a foothold.
And what's even more, I guess surprise or maybe a little unsettling is that most of the time these mistakes aren't intentional. Nobody's trying to do something malicious. They just don't know. They're not aware.
Right. It's just lack of awareness.
Right. And that's really what attackers prey on. They prey on our trust. They prey on our curiosity. They prey on our sense of urgency. If we get an email that says, oh my gosh, you need to do this right now.
Right. Or like an invoice is overdue.
Exactly right. And that's why employee training, that security awareness training is just so vital because it's about building that human firewall.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it, a human firewall.
Yeah.
Because, I think, we've all seen how sophisticated these phishing attacks can be. Like if you get a phishing email these days, it looks exactly like it's from your bank or from, a supplier that you use or even from, somebody internally.
Oh, absolutely. And then there are the fake login pages where, they'll send you a link, you click on it, and it looks exactly like the Microsoft login page or the Google login page.
Or your bank.
Yeah, exactly, your bank. And then they get your credentials, and then there are just straight up scare tactics, like you were saying, where they'll send you an email or call you, and they'll say, oh my gosh, your account's been compromised. You need to do this right now to fix it.
Right.
And people panic, and they make mistakes.
Yeah. And that's exactly what the attackers are counting on.
Exactly.
So, one of the things that I think is really telling is that there was a study that was done a while back, and it showed that, organizations that had regular security awareness training their employees were much less likely to fall for a phishing attack.
Oh, absolutely. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, like way less likely. And so it really shows like a direct correlation. The more informed your workforce is, the more secure your environment is going to be.
It's a simple equation, really.
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense, right? But we actually worked with a company recently, and this is a pretty typical story, unfortunately. It was a manufacturing company, small to medium-sized business. They had all the basics in place. They had, antivirus. They had a firewall.
The things you'd expect.
Right. The things you'd expect.
Good, solid foundation.
Exactly. And they ended up getting hit with a ransomware attack. And it was bad. Like they're completely locked out of their systems. They couldn't access any of their data.
And this is a story we hear all too often.
Oh, yeah. It's so common, unfortunately. And the thing is, it wasn't a problem with their technology. It wasn't like their firewall failed or their antivirus didn't work.
Right. They had the technical defenses.
It all started because an employee clicked on a link in an email that looked like an invoice.
One click.
That's it. One click. And that was it. That's all it took for the attackers to get in. And, once they were in, they were able to encrypt all the company's files. And then they demanded a ransom to get the decryption key.
And those ransoms can be substantial.
Oh, yeah. They can be crippling for a business, especially a small business. And, just highlights, this company, they had invested in security, but they were missing that human element, right? They didn't have the training to help their employees recognize that email was suspicious. And they also, didn't have the email filtering in place to catch those types of emails before they even got to the employee's inbox.
Right. And that's why it's so important to have a layered approach.
Yeah, a layered approach where you've got the technology, but you're also empowering your people.
Exactly. Technology and a well-informed team, that's what real cybersecurity looks like.
Couldn't agree more. And I think, at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, This is all scary stuff. What can I actually do to protect my business, right?
Well, that's the good news. There's a lot you can do, and it's not as complicated as you might think.
Right. So let's talk about some concrete steps that you can take.
Absolutely.
So first and foremost, and I can't stress this enough, you've got to have security awareness training for your employees.
Absolutely foundational.
Yeah, and it's not just like a one-time thing, right? This has to be ongoing, regular training.
Yeah, bite-sized pieces, keep it top of mind.
Exactly, because the threat landscape is constantly changing, right? So you've got to keep your employees up to date on the latest threats, the latest tactics that attackers are using.
So it's about teaching them how to identify those red flags in emails, how to spot a fake login page, how to, recognize social engineering tactics.
Right. How to avoid those scare tactics that we were talking about earlier. And the research shows that, consistent security awareness training can really significantly reduce your risk, like your vulnerability to phishing goes way down.
It's one of the most effective things you can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's step one, security awareness training.
Check.
Step two is phishing protection. And this is actually, one of the core services that we offer at CyberShift Technologies.
Right. We're big believers in this.
Yeah. And basically what phishing protection does is it filters out suspicious emails before they even get to your employees' inboxes.
Right. So it acts as a safety net.
Yeah. It's like the first line of defense, right?
Yep.
And so these tools, they analyze the content of the email, they look at the sender information, they look at the links, and they're looking for patterns that are associated with malicious emails.
Right. They're looking for those telltale signs.
Exactly. And if they detect something suspicious, they'll just block the email or they'll quarantine it so that it doesn't actually get to the employee.
Yeah. And we've seen amazing results with these tools. Once we implement phishing protection for clients, the number of phishing emails that get through drops dramatically.
Oh, yeah. It's a huge difference maker.
Yeah.
So I think that combination of having the security awareness training and the phishing protection, those two things together can really go a long way in protecting your business.
It's a powerful 1-2 punch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about security awareness training. We've talked about phishing protection. The next layer of defense that we need to talk about is multi-factor authentication, or MFA.
Yes, MFA. This is a must-have.
Absolutely a non-negotiable these days.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not using MFA on everything, you're leaving the door wide open.
Yeah, you're making it way too easy for the attackers.
Exactly. And so when we talk about everything, I mean, your email accounts, your Microsoft 365 access, file sharing platforms, online banking, all of it.
Anything that has sensitive information.
Exactly. And the reason why MFA is so important is because it adds that second layer of verification.
Yeah.
Right. So even if an attacker manages to steal your password, they still need that second factor to get in.
Right. So they need something else in addition to the password.
Right. So that might be, a code from your phone or a fingerprint scan or, a security key.
Right. And it makes it so much harder for the attacker.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the statistics are crazy. Like implementing MFA can block over 99.9% of account takeover attacks.
Yeah, it's incredibly effective.
Yeah. So if you're not using MFA, I mean, you need to start today.
No excuse not to.
All right. So we've got security awareness training, phishing protection, MFA. Next up, let's talk about passwords.
Oh, passwords are the bane of our existence.
I know, right? Everybody hates passwords, but they're so important. And, the days of using simple passwords like password 1, 2, 3, or, your dog's name, those days are over.
Long gone.
Long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got to have strong, unique passwords for every single online account that you have.
And I know that sounds like a lot to keep track of.
Right. It's a lot of passwords.
But that's where password managers come in.
Yeah, password managers are lifesavers. And so what a password manager does is it generates these super complex passwords for you, and then it stores them securely so you don't have to remember them.
Right. So you only have to remember one master password.
Exactly. And so not only does this make your life easier, but it also makes your accounts much more secure because you're not reusing passwords. You're not using weak passwords. It's all taken care of.
Right. And it eliminates that temptation to write them down on a sticky note and put them under your keyboard.
Which we've all done.
Don't
lie. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been guilty of that in the past.
Me too.
So yeah, password managers, they're essential.
Absolutely.
All right. So the last piece of the puzzle that we need to talk about, and this is kind of your safety net, is backup and recovery.
The all-important backup.
Yes, because even with all of the best defenses in place, sometimes things still happen, right?
Right. You can't prevent every single attack.
Exactly. And so you need to have a plan in place to recover if something does happen.
It's your insurance policy.
Yeah. And so that means backing up your critical data regularly, encrypting those backups. And this is really important, testing your recovery process.
Oh, yeah. You got to make sure that it actually works.
Exactly right. Because you don't want to wait until you've had a disaster to find out that your backups are corrupted or that you don't know how to restore them.
Right. That's not the time to figure it out.
Exactly. So, you want to make sure that you can recover quickly and efficiently to minimize downtime and, minimize the disruption to your business.
Right, because time is money, especially when you're dealing with a cyber incident.
Absolutely. And so, I know we've covered a lot of ground here and it can feel a little overwhelming, but the good news is you don't have to do this alone.
That's right. We're here to help.
It's exactly. At CyberShift Technologies, we're here to partner with you and help you navigate all of this. So if you're feeling a little lost or you just want to have a conversation about your current security posture, we'd love to chat.
No pressure, just a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Jargon-free, practical advice tailored to your specific business.
That's what we're all about.
Yeah. So if you're interested in learning more, you can visit our website at cybershift.com.
That's cybershift.com.
You can also reach us by email at info@cybershift.com.
We're easy to find.
And, whether you're looking for help with security awareness training or you want us to review your email protection or you need a comprehensive security assessment, we're here to help.
Yeah, we can help you with all of that and more.
So we really believe in providing technology with integrity and service with care.
That's our motto.
And we're excited to partner with you to help you keep your business safe.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you found it valuable.
And we hope you learned something.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
And just one last thought. We talked about how human error is really the biggest cybersecurity threat. So what's one thing that you can do in your business today to start building that stronger human firewall?
It's something to think about.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the CyberShift podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to stay up to date on all things CyberShift Technologies, make sure to subscribe to our podcast and join the newsletter on cybershift.com. Have a great day.